Okay, so now we'll learn the Shvuz the Kemaimer in volume 3, Maimori Malokit, the 49th Maimer. It's Yom Beis the Chag HaShavuz Tovshin Chavtes, Vaydaber Elikim Kol Advorim Eila Leimer. It says here in the note that later on they published this Maimer in Kuntres Chag HaShavuz for the year Tovshin Nun, dated the third day Parshas Nosei Erev Chag HaShavuz Shnas Tovshin Nun. Okay, so we'll learn this Maimer now. Vaydaber Elikim as kol hadvorim ha'ela lemer. So the pasuk of the Aseres Hadibris begins that Elikim, Hashem spoke all of these words, lemer, to say. Normally, whenever the pasuk says Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe lemer, Hashem says to Moshe lemer that he should go ahead and say it to the Jewish people. Lemer means to give it over. But by Matan Torah, and like this, we also say sometimes the lamer applies, lamer to say it to the next generation. But by Matan Torah, we know all the Jewish people were there. So who was it meant when we say lamer to say it over? Who should they say it over to there? There was nobody missing. Everybody heard it. So the question is known, what it says, lamer, to say, since all Yid, which is the souls of all generations, Har Sinai, they were at the standing. Out Mount Sinai, everybody was there. They heard the sayings from HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. What does it mean to say? Lemer lachedim, to say to others. Who is the others who wasn't there who we need to say this? What's the point of the explanation in this? When the Pasuk writes lamer to say, the Pasuk is explaining what's the chiddush, what's the novelty of Matan Torah. Because we have a problem. We have to explain this because it seems like Torah was known and studied beforehand. That the Aseres Hadibris were known to the people that were there before Matan Torah. So why is the Chiddush, why is the Eibusher saying? And the answer is lamer. That explains the L'cheire. Also, before Matan Torah, they Yidden learned all of Torahs. Why do we say that they didn't learn Torah? So, can move on. Gam mizeh, that's understood from the fact Shekiyim Avram Avinu as kol ha-Torah kulo ad shelei nitna. That Avram Avinu, he observed the entire Torah before the Torah was given. How could he observe the Torah? He must learn Torah. Shebechdei lekayim es ha-Torah. In order to observe the Torah, so you have to learn it. Ubevadai, and for sure, Shavram limud es kol ha-Torah kulo liYitzchak b'nai. For sure, he taught it to his son Yitzchak. VeYitzchak limda liYaakov u'bonav. Yitzchak taught it to Yaakov and his sons. So the Torah was known to them because since we knew that Avram was observed the Torah, in order to observe the Torah, you need to learn Torah in order. And if he learned it, he must have passed it along to his children, then Yitzchak and Yitzchak to Yaakov. So the Torah was known. So what's the Chiddush? Umahu HaChiddush, the Matan Torah. So what is the Chiddush of Matan Torah? So that pasuk says later. Shachidush by Daber Elikim es kol advarim meil b'matan Torah. What is the chiddush? God, Elikim spoke all these words in Matan Torah. Shal yidei zen niten hakoyach lekol echad ve'echad mi Yisrael shebechol haTorah shebechol haderes. Through Matan Torah, the power was given to each and every one of the Jewish people for all generations. Shalimud haTorah shelo yiyeh be'ofen delamer. That the study, when a Yid learns Torah, it should be lamer. Hashem spoke to him all these words. The Chiddush is lamer. What is this lamer? Rebbe explains there's two Pirushim. The Chiddush and what was accomplished, that it's lamer. And there's two Pirushim. Shnei Pirushim b'zeh. Lamer means that the Eibishter should say that when a Yid learns Torah, we say the Eibishter kol ha-yoshev v'loimer HaKadosh Baruch Hu loimet kenegdoi. Hashem spoke all these words to tell us that lamer, if you speak Torah, then Hashem will say that same Torah. Shal yidei limud ha-Torah shaloi hu goyrem sha'HaKadosh Baruch Hu yoimer deburim elu. When you learn Torah, it's lamer, you cause Hashem to say it. As we say, the kol ha-koyre v'shoyne, HaKadosh Baruch Hu koyre v'shoyne kenegdoi. Anyone who reads the Chumash, shoyne, learns Mishnah, anybody who studies, HaKadosh Baruch Hu reads and studies opposite him. You're learning Torah, the Eibishter learns Torah. The Alpizeh, Pirush Lamer. So what is the meaning Lamer? To say to others, Lamer lachenim hu, Sheha'odom haloimed Torah, that the person who is studying Torah, Omer la'Kadosh Baruch Hu kaviyachol, so to speak, you're saying to Hashem, Sheyachzer ala diburim shaloi, that the Eibishter should repeat your words. Lamer, you're saying these things, and the Eibishter repeats it after you. Koyre v'shoyne, HaKadosh Baruch Hu koyre v'shoyne kenegdoi. That's one pirush. The other thing is the opposite way. The Eibishter gave a Yid a koyach, that lamer, that when he's saying the words, he's not just saying the words of Torah that he understands, but that he is saying lamer, the words of the Eibishter. The other pirush is Shalimud ha-Torah shel ha'odam yeh ba'ofen delamer, that the study of the person should be in a way that lamer. That's what it means. Lachzer hadvorim she'HaKadosh Baruch Hu omer. It's as if you are just repeating the words that Hashem say. K'moishe kosuv, as the pasuk says, Ta'an l'shoyni imrosecha. My tongue will say your sayings. My tongue is just responding your words. You are the one that are saying it. I am just responding. Shahadiburim, what it means, Shahadiburim, the Torah. Shahadam oimer, the words of Torah that the person says, Heim imrosecha. Those Hashem saying, they're imrosecha, your sayings. Ulishoini, all what I'm doing is ta'an, I'm responding. Ka'oine achar hakoyre. That the person is responding after the one that reads. So I guess these two interpretations are really the same, but it's either we are the one that is causing lamer for Hashem to say, or we are sort of saying what Hashem is saying and we're responding to Hashem. That's one pirush in lamer. Lamer basically means to say, either we're saying Hashem to say what we're saying, or we are saying what Hashem is saying. But there's another pirush in Vaydaber Leimer. Hashem spoke all these Aseres Hadibras, Shem Klolus Kol HaTorah, which is the generality of the Torah, Huleimer. It's all about saying. Aseres Hadibras, Torah Shalamaylam Oilom, that the 10 sayings, Torah, which is higher than world, Yumshachu Ba'asora Mamoris Shabahem Nivra Ha'olam. To say, meaning to extend it in the 10 sayings in which the world was created. Lamer, to bring down Torah into world, into the Asora Mamoris Shabahem Nivra Ha'olam. So this is what the Eberster spoke, all these words lamer. But the same thing is a Yid. When a Yid learns Torah, he changes the world. The Adam, similar, is by the study of Torah of the person, that's it's in a way that you speak lamer, shemidibur haTorah shaloi nase amira. You speak and it becomes a saying. Amira means hamshochas hashpo lamato. You bring down the flow below. When you learn Torah, it's lamer to continue to bring it down into the world below. Bring it down below. V'tzorich lahavin hakesher v'hashayches the kol inyonim hanal b'lamer. We have to understand the connection, the tie of all this in the world of lamer. I guess the two pirushim of lamer and also lamer to be mamshich in the world. How does it all tie together? Ois base. V'hinei b'hamaymer shel adbur v'harash diber hamaschil zeh. In the Maimer of the Rebbe Maharash that opens with this same opening of Vaydaber Elikim es kol hadvorim ha'ela shenemar lifnei mea shana, that he said 100 years ago, that was Tofreish Chavtes, is la'acharei hadiuk shel l'ch'oire tevas leimer hu miyuter. After he brings down the question that it seems that the word leimer is extra, maybe Mashakosuv b'Yalkut. He brings down that which is written in the Yalkut. Kishahoya HaKadosh Baruch Hu medaber. So it says in the Yalkut that when the Eibishter was speaking, Hoya kol echad mi Yisrael omer, each one of the Yidden would say, Imi hadibur medaber. Eibishter is talking with me. Everybody felt it wasn't the Eibishter giving a speech for everybody. Everybody felt that the Eibishter was talking with him personally. The Eibishter is talking to each individual. That's why it says, Shenemar, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha lo sheyochid. Hashem doesn't say, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, I'm your God, plural. It says, I'm God, your God, in an individual way, meaning to each individual. Umevair, so the Rebbe Maharash explains, this is what the Medrash that we find in the Medrash on the Pasuk of Anoichi Hashem Elokecha. It says Shehakoil Sheshomu Ba'aseres Hadibros, that the voice that they heard during the 10 sayings, Hoyo Lifi Koicha Shel Kol Echad. It came according to the power, the strength of each one. It was an individualized power that the strength came to. Habachurim lifi koicham, the young according to their strength. V'hazikenim lifi koicham, the elders according to their strength. V'hakatanim lifi koicham, and the minors according to their strength. Meaning, it was a personalized, individualized Anoichi saying of Hashem. That means that the koil allocate to each one separately. V'yesh loymar. So the Rebbe says, what does it add? The Rebbe explains this other medrash. We already brought down in one medrash that the Eibishter spoke to each one separately. He brings down from the Yalkut, but he still brings down the second medrash as well. So the Rebbe said, "Yesh loymar dem mahataimim al zeh shemevi gam maimer hamedrash." So that's some of the reasons. One of the reasons that he also brings down the same with the medrashu. Lifishal yideiza, move on. That way we understand. Shaha inyan the imi hadibur medaber l'kolechod echad b'fnei atzmei. What the Yalkut says, that each one says that the Eibishter talks with me, each one individually. It's not just each individual neshama. This is also it pertains to the body. The bachurim, zkenim, ktanim, hu mitzad haguf. The distinction, young, old, small, minors, that's the body. So he wants to say it wasn't only individualized according to the neshama, also on the guf it was individualized. So, okay, that's what he brings down. That's what he explains that. No. So what's the reason why it was such a way? The Maimer explains what's the reason. That the words of Aseres Hadibris was in a way that with me, each one individualized B'loshen Yochid in an individual way. For each one by themselves. But this is a specific for each one. But and many times it also says in a plural, even though it means each individual. Hagam shekol tzivuya haTorah, even though all the commandments of the Torah are not for general, they're kol echad ve'echad miYisrael. Each individual, every Torah, ubechol haTorah nemar, and no Torah says Ani Hashem Elokeichem. So we see, I'm God, you're God in the plural. So we see, even though it says Ani Hashem Elokeichem, it means individualized. But over here, Ba'aseres Hadibros, we say specifically, Imi Medaber talks with me. Why was it special over here to speak B'Lashon Yochid Imi Medaber? So he explains, Al Pima de Isa B'Yalkut Shom, based on what the Yalkut says there. The B'Shas Matan Torah, Shitef HaKadosh Baruch Hu es Shmoi B'Kol Echad Ve'echad MiYisrael. At the time of Matan Torah, the Eibishter brought together his name by everybody of the Yid. Every Yid got the name of Hashem, got the Kale, got the name of Hashem. The Zehu Mashikosu, because it quotes in the Pasuk, it says, Rechev Elikim Ribosayim, talking about the angel. The chariot of Elikim is Ribosayim, 2,000, all the angels. So he says, Adnai Bom. The name Adnai, Hashem's name Adoshem, is Bom. Sinai Bakoidesh. When it came to Sinai in the holiness, they have the name, all of the angels have the name of Adnai. So, the Kamoi Sha'adnai Bom B'Hamalachim. Just as the Adnai is Bom, all the Malachim have Hashem in them. Shebishmoi Shel Kol Malach, in the name of every Malach, Meshutaf B'Soifa Shemoy Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is partnered, combined over there in the end, the name of the Eibishter Kale. Adnai Bom means the name Kale is there. Michael, Gavriel, Raphael, they all have the name of Kale in the end of Hashem in their name. Kein b'matan Torah is Sinai b'kodesh. Just like Rebbe Saim Adnai Baum is by Sinai b'kodesh, Shitev HaKodesh Baruch Hu es Shmoi Kol Echad V'Echad MiYisrael. The Eibishter partner brought his name. Every Yid got a part of his name, just like the Malachim have. Anoichi Hashem Elokecha. I am God, your God, meaning the Eibishter says, I am your God. You got a partner, you got the name of Hashem. What does it mean to have partner of the name of Hashem? What does it mean by the Malachim? And then what does it mean by the Yidden? Mamshik ba'amaimer, explain the Amaimer. The Ayidei sheshmoi shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu mishutef b'malachim, through the fact that the Eibishter's name is partnered, is in the Malach. Hem betelim legabi shmoi yizbarach shemishutef b'hem, so they are subjugated to the name which is combined in them. Ukmekenu b'Yisrael, and the same thing is true by a Yid. The Yidei sheshitef HaKadosh Baruch Hu es shmoi b'Yisrael, through the fact that the Eibishter put his name by the Yidden, by Matan Torah, heim bebittel der bittel. Kibur Baruch Hu b'mayim, explain the mayim. So what is the meaning when we say that the Eibishter partnered? The Eibishter has his name in the Malachim, means that the Malachim are bottled. So Michael, Gabriel, they're all bottled to the same kale. So that's by the Malachim. But the same thing is, when the Yid got the name of Hashem, they have the bittul to the Eibishter. Okay, let's leave it over here. It's almost time. And we'll mamshich tomorrow, Mr. Hashem. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.